Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinlife.com and I wanted to share with you a few bits of footage from my recent exciting fixed gear bike riding down, as you can see, a very wet muddy towpath. Now this is heading out from St Martin's, and as you can see here it's an extremely bumpy, extremely wet track of a towpath, and you luckily get this little stretch of nice sort of smooth tarmac, which is very rare for the towpath. And you're about to see in just a moment what the track over the winter and wet months is very much like. And once we go through this bridge, it gets very muddy, very bumpy, and it goes on for a very long time. So just a bit of background: if this is the first video of mine that you've watched, then yes, I do live on a little narrowboat. That's what we've just headed out from, and I'm riding a single speed Mango bike here. I always ride it in fixed gear as well, so you can't stop pedalling, so it's basically head on to this sort of terrain and hope for the best. We have had an awful lot of rain recently, so the towpath is a lot more churned up and muddy than it normally is. And well, I would like to say, well, first of all, I absolutely love this camera angle. Oh, fantastic. But I'd also like to point out that very often these are the sorts of tracks that I'm riding down in the pitch dark, with only me bike lights, which I've got some very bright ones as you can imagine, to try and give me the edge over all of the roots and the bumps and just the general mud, certainly over the winter months. But I thought it was well worth sharing with you, just so that you could see an insight into how I normally start and end my days. And certainly, at least, when I've been biking back from work at 11 o'clock at night, you can imagine it's bitter cold sometimes, and you're heading down places like this where there's an awful lot of roots. So as you'll see in this next clip here, I have to go extremely close to the edge quite often to try and get away from well, some bumps that in the past I've gone over bumps on a road bike that have literally burst the rear tyre. So it's definitely a lot of this sort of staying very close to the edge. You can see the roots of the trees sticking up through the towpath there, and that's what you've got to make sure that you don't hit. Certainly in the pitch black at night, don't want to hit one of them too hard, because it can really throw you well off course. You can see the sheer amount of roots that there are just in that section alone. But it's certainly something that adds a little bit of excitement to life. And I would say that just this stretch here, just maybe a few seconds ago where we passed, I really enjoyed mooring up here because you get well away from any traffic noise and roads and things like that. And very rarely do you get any people even walking down there. And it's very rare to have boats down here, even in the over the winter months rather. But certainly over the summer it gets extremely busy on this stretch of canal. And you can see the Lion Keys on the other side there. And really, I think it's about time I drew this video to a close. I filmed this on one of those Sports HD DVD generic cameras, not even like a branded one, 50 quid off Amazon, no super duper expensive GoPro here. But I'll say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this quick look at a little bit of the towpath over the winter months, and I hope to see you around soon. Subscribe, like the Facebook page, and check out my books about life afloat. Until the next time, farewell, and have a fantastic day.